So on X, welcome to Hard Drive for today, Wednesday, the 2nd of July. My name is Andre Paul, the co-host of the show. To my immediate right, none other than the lovely Keena. Keena, good morning to you.
Good morning, Andre Paul. Good morning, Tony Paul. Good morning to our viewers and listeners. And thank you to DBS.
Yeah, according to you, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
Okay, let's say good morning to co-host number two, Tony Paul. Tony, good morning.
Good morning, Andre. Good morning, Keena. Good morning to the world, the globe.
Indeed.
How y'all doing, man? Everybody okay?
Yes.
It's so good to be back here. Wednesday is here. My cap. I was going to bring you a cap, so you can just put it on for the start of the show, and then you just take it out after that. You know what I mean? Just for uniformity.
Yeah, why not?
Because
I'm game.
Okay,
I'm game.
because I just figured, because Keena has said it a million times, she loves her caps.
Mm-hmm.
So I figure, something, she'll just probably start this, a trend.
Yeah, just
wear
wearing
her caps.
Yeah.
I figure. So I'm like, hey, man, you ain't leaving me out.
You remember when Hassani came in here to co-host the show with us?
Yeah.
He had darkers on it,
Yes.
and he had a cap.
That's right.
I remember you
I
said
said, Sonny,
that.
take that out, man. You can see his face. You can
It's
see
a
the-
pity you haven't said that to me.
Yes.
That's why with the cap, I'm leaving the glasses off, or even the darkers, because you just can't see anything.
I really, really love caps. And to go back to what you said earlier, right? This week I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to wear caps. All week and continue to wear caps. No matter what I have on, it could be a dress, it could be t-shirt, I'm going to wear caps.
So how many caps do you have?
A lot.
What's a lot?
Really?
I mean,
Maybe over
ballpark.
80.
What?
That ain't never true.
I have a lot, and I have hats as well.
What?
I love
hook a brother up.
love caps. Okay, cool.
I'm just kidding.
But our grandfather loved felt hats.
That's right.
That was his thing. So once he's leaving the house, it just goes on.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't
that something?
So let me, if you go into a party, for example, would you wear a cap?
It depends on the dress code. It depends.
Mm.
But if I
Okay.
feel like, I want to break anything, just break the dress code. I might just wear a cap.
Like
or when
today?
I get there, remove it.
Like today.
Do you think that's a way maybe some people kind of keep people away by just having a cap and they put this thing over where you all you see is the nose, for example, and the mouth? Do you think some people use that?
Some people do. Some people do. But everyone else is different. When I first started wearing caps, it was exactly why I just didn't want to be seen. I could just go around, do what I have to do at the supermarket, and I'll be like, hey.
You see? You see?
Yeah, and sometimes I still do because I feel like I want my privacy. I just want to go to the supermarket or go somewhere, and I don't want anybody to,
Yeah, I'm doing the country and western old school parties, to see, I've seen it already, where ladies come in there, wear a cap, and they you see them looking up like that. Yeah, I think they just probably come there maybe just to look at people and yeah.
I love wearing it.
It's almost like a distraction. I'd like to see it, to be honest with you.
And then I understand why.
And another thing too.
why.
Let me add another thing too. Do you wear heels?
Sometimes.
No.
Sometimes. It depends. I have worn heels to work. I have.
Maybe what do you call heels?
No, maybe 4 inches I have. My birthday I did, and there were other times that I wore heels
4
as well.
inch. Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
4-inch thick heels.
It's a pencil, just 4 inches.
You serious? The
Yeah.
pencil, the sharp thing?
Yeah.
You wore that on your birthday? And I never saw that? Andrew, you never saw that, right?
I don't remember.
Maybe because I was
You mean-
seated, then never go the other side, and that's it. But I do wear heels, but I'm not too fond of it. I have my times.
It's something
Because I have
that
to get back on that level,
yes,
when I remove it.
yeah, and most ladies when they go out, like they go dancing, you hardly see a lady wearing heels. So these are flat shoes, and I think for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think it gives ladies that extra oomph. Yeah,
Yeah.
to see a lady in heels.
Yeah.
When she goes out, she goes to a party, and she has those heels.
Well,
Wow.
actually, when you do wear it, I could only speak for myself. I'm not quite sure how other women feel. They might feel the same. But when I do wear heels, I feel like I'm on top of the world. You know, that feeling of confidence is just so different because you have heels on, and it changes everything about what you're wearing. It could be jeans, it could be shorts, it could be skirt, no matter what it is. The moment you wear heels, it actually changes how you look. It changes your posture as well.
It does, for true.
You know?
It really does.
It adds a little bit of to to what you're wearing. So
what it is people say, back in the day, uka step 60.
And some women can really rock their heels though.
That's
they
true.
can walk. So for some of us, not so much.
Self-included?
After a while. No, I can walk in heels, but I don't really like it.
Wear heels tomorrow.
Because okay, I'm going to wear heels
when you come
tomorrow.
here, you take it off and you put back your
What
slippers.
color you want me to wear? Black, blue?
I ain't care.
Okay, I'll wear heels tomorrow then.
Just see Keena in heels.
So how the listeners and viewers are going to see me in
Forget
heels?
the listeners. Me. It's
It
just
will-
me.
Okay, I'm going to wear heels tomorrow. Cool. Fine.
I've seen you in the thickish heels.
Oh, that one.
So that's what
No,
I'm
that's
talking
more
about.
comfortable, but
Exactly.
no, I wear the other ones as well.
I have not seen that.
Yeah, on my birthday I did.
So you're worried about the viewers seeing you in heels?
No, he said wear heels tomorrow.
Right,
I'm
and
not
so-
worried
We're
about
not
the
on-
viewers
we're
and
not on
listeners
tomorrow.
seeing me in heels. No.
All right. Oh, okay.
No,
okay.
I'm not worried
All right.
about them seeing me in heels. No,
Okay.
no. But I'm not one to just wear heels all the time because our roads, let me tell you, you ever walk in heels, ladies, and you hit something and bam, you feel like your ankle is broken?
You asking us this question?
The ladies out there, it's a really bad feeling, you know, when that surface is uneven and you're walking, let me tell you,
Yeah. What about if you're in a closed environment, everybody moonale moon kind of thing, and a lady with heels taps on your foot?
oh my God, let me tell you, that's the worst thing ever. But
Ouch.
that's
Yeah.
pain.
I'm feeling it.
Yes, that's a lot of pain. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So anything else you guys want to mention before we move on?
I want to quickly talk about the Rev-Up, the homegrown for this evening, 6 o'clock, 6 to 7. Well, let's talk about last week, not Monday. Gosh, the days just go by so quickly. Monday, we featured all of the 9 Calypsonians who are in the finals, played all of their songs. Well, one, of course. All right, one song each. Today, we do the Power and Groovy Soca. So that's 9 and 9, 18 songs in 1 hour.
Woohoo.
And the thing about it is that it'll fit in because a lot of these, in particular, the Power Soca songs are like 2 minutes and a little bit. So we will be able to fit them in, you know. So look out for that this evening at 6 o'clock. Rev Up the Homegrown, the finalists of the Power and Groovy Soca Monarch. That's what's happening. That's on my end. I wanted to touch on that. And of course, the program will change. Listeners, we will change the thing. It's going to change sometime soon. We're working on promo and so on. Sometime soon it will change from 6 o'clock, 6 p.m. to 11:30 a.m. Keena and myself will rock it.
Okay.
And I'm super
Monday
excited too.
and Tuesday.
I don't know what it is, but I just got a little message here that a verdict has been reached in the Sean Diddy Combs case. Remember, there was some issue with the racketeering.
Partial verdict, yes.
The racketeering conspiracy charge. That's a complicated one for true.
The racketeering.
Yeah, that is a so apparently I just heard from Don saying that they're all waiting to hear the verdict now.
But
So
it
they
has
were on standby.
been reached.
Apparently.
Ooh.
All right.
Well,
all right.
You know, I could imagine how Sean Diddy Combs is feeling in there, boy.
Yeah.
He must be saying, my gosh, I'm just between being freed and being incarcerated for the rest of my life.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
that one, you see
The
that the
racketeering.
racketeering, it carries a life
It carries
sentence.
a life sentence.
That's what they reserve
Yeah.
for those mafia people who organize crime. That's a serious charge, boy. Wow. I don't know if they're going to find him guilty on that one, though.
I'm not sure if they might.
So it's
but I do
complicated.
believe that if they don't, the prosecution is going to retry him. Most likely. Because
Retry
they're looking to get something on him because there's a lot. I mean, yesterday for the partial verdicts, right? There were 2, 3, 4, and 5 that the jury reached.
I'm sorry to disturb you. Can they do that?
Yeah,
If
they
he's
can.
found not guilty, can you retry the person?
Especially if there was jury misconduct or something happening during that time when
but
they
we're
were
not-
deliberating.
but we're not aware of that.
Well, there have been talks of a juror sometime earlier this week and last week. I'm not quite sure what it was, but the other jurors actually sent a note to the judge saying that there was this one juror that was being very difficult. So in the event that that may have happened, and maybe they find out, hey, that's one of the reasons why they were not getting to that. They will have loggerheads somewhat, and that draw is just being difficult, holding out, because sometimes that happens. Maybe you never know what happened, but whoosh, yesterday, I don't know, but everything that came out from the courtroom yesterday, they were saying that his lawyers were very protective of him. So there were people looking on, media workers and other people looking at him so they could take back information to the news stations, but his lawyers were very protective, so you couldn't really tell. The only thing that came out sometime yesterday was that he just seemed a little bit into himself and very sad.
I'm
but
sure
as
he'd
it
be.
really,
Yeah.
right.
At that moment, I'm
Yeah,
sure of that.
So boy.
Yeah, I think somebody,
Pretty on edge there.
one of the reporters said he was actually praying. Actually, so
Yeah.
praying.
Yeah.
So time like that,
Yeah.
boy.
The stakes are really high for him. Yeah.
That means
Yeah.
if he's found guilty on all counts, you see if he need.
That's true.
Unless of course the judge gives him some suspended sentence, which I doubt.
No, man.
I doubt. As we say that, there was a case I was following in Jamaica. A young boy, I think he was 14 at the time. His name is Mario Dean, and he was caught with a spliff. Okay, one, right? So we don't know what happened, but he was arrested for sure. And while he was in at the lockup, he was beaten by the police, and he was beaten to death.
What?
Yes.
You said a young boy, right?
Yeah, about 14 at the time.
Oh my
So he
God.
died.
Caught with a
A spliff, one
in
spliff.
Jamaica.
In Jamaica.
Arrested
No way.
and beaten
That's
to
right,
death.
to death. 3 police officers were involved. One of them tried to pervert the course of justice by cleaning up the room, and of course that information was relayed to Indicom. You know, Indicom is the one they monitor the movements of police and so on, the actions, and that came out that one of them had done that. So I think that one is sentenced, I think, for 10 years for being involved. But the other 2, which is interesting, they were given suspended sentences. Yeah, they got suspended sentences, which is kind of strange.
That's
because
disappointing.
Yeah, that's exactly what the mother said.
What?
She said she's very disappointed that the guys, I think they sentenced them like 2 years, 2 years, whatever, and they said just give them suspended sentences. As to why the judge would do that, I don't know. No explanation was given.
No explanation
Yeah,
was given.
no explanation. It might
I
come
guess
out later.
maybe the judge considered other factors because they had no prior records of other crimes they may have
Possible.
committed or other mitigating circumstances. I'm not quite sure how it works,
Possible.
but that could be one of the reasons.
Yeah, but to see, and I guess there must be a serious lesson in that there for police officers in general, right? You arrest a kid for having a spliff. I mean, he didn't have an illegal firearm or something, and things would have gone so awry that you ended up beating the boy inside there. No doubt maybe the boy gave him a tough time inside there. Maybe
Yeah, but to
give him a
beat
rough
him
time.
to death,
Exactly.
just leave him in there.
Mm-hmm.
You
That's
know?
a kid, man. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? 14 years old. One spliff.
One spliff. One. Yeah.
Right.
And of course, we have our issues here in St. Lucia when it comes to
Yeah, we
those
have
things.
our own issues there.
Now,
as
you
well.
have the police in Jamaica now. They are asking, to be treated well, to be treated fairly, to be properly compensated. The Police Welfare Association in Jamaica is making a pitch for that right now, saying, listen, we're out there, we're the ones putting our lives on the line while most people are sleeping in their beds. We're out there doing all the tough work and we're not being compensated properly. So I think they're supposed to be meeting with the National Security Minister in Jamaica this week to take a look at the grievances. But that's the sort of thing that people are very, very... people don't like the police for those kinds of things. When you hear the abuse, and even if it's one for the year, boy,
One is
everybody
still-
passing that.
Yeah.
Everybody passing. But in Jamaica, usually you have police-related killings. The numbers tend to be high.
Yes, that's
the
true.
numbers are high.
Because remember, they're dealing with some real criminals there. Murder rate.
Hardcore criminals.
Talking
actually.
about 1,000 plus a year.
Yeah.
So the police, boy, they have it in Jamaica. They have it rough
They
there.
have it really, really rough.
Yeah.
Honestly, there's a Jamaica Defense Force, that is like really, really tough.
Yes.
So they're there, but boy, oh boy, still the crime and everything just simply continues, and these people have no regard for police officers. That is why they get so mad when they have to execute their duties, I suppose they just go.
They lose it
Some
sometimes.
people can be
Yeah.
very, very difficult, but still, with what happened in that case with Mario Dean, it sends a message, intentionally or not, that sometimes even serious crimes by law enforcement doesn't result in the outcome and accountability that we're looking for.
Yeah, the mother said your exact words. I'm disappointed.
Yeah.
Now, there's another interesting case there in Jamaica. We'll get to St. Lucia in a minute, where a Rasta man he received compensation of 120 million Jamaica dollars. Now, the government had offered him 6 million Jamaica dollars, right? But of course, the family didn't accept it. This guy, he had some mental issues, and he spent 50 years without trial.
What?
50 years without trial. He's still alive. So no doubt he will have to let him go. He was charged for murder, but because he has these mental issues, they just kept him there. He at the time that he couldn't plead. He was not in a position to plead. So the authorities now, instead of checking up on the guy, making sure he gets medication and so on, so he can now go back and plead now, in a position to plead, they just left him there.
That's inhumane.
Exactly. They left him there. The guy was there for 50 years without a trial. And he's not the only one. I think there were three others. I think one spent 40 years, right? Another one spent another 40 years. And they said, in one case, and by the way, these were Rastafarians. One case, they showed evidence of chronic emaciation, and his body was covered with bed sores, vermin bites, and live bed bugs. Okay, now he died, that guy. And when they found him in that state.
How?
Yeah. And the system, the state, just let him down, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is, and you know,
It's heartbreaking, actually.
when you hear these stories, I know Jamaica trying to become first world status and so on. They have a lot of work to do.
They have a lot of work to do. As far as I'm concerned. Really, really, really.
And you see the state now, you offering the guy 6 million Jamaica dollars, and he, after his lawyer fought his case, he was given 120 million. Yeah, the judge came down and got on the case, man, telling him, you'll let the guy down, and now you want to give him that little kakada. I'm not sure exactly how much that is in
Jamaica dollars,
but well, in EC or even US.
Sorry, yes.
Or even US.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway, so I guess we're living in an imperfect world, and things go wrong. And you know, again, it begs the question: you have Minister for Justice, right? A Minister for Justice in almost all these countries. What's the role of a Minister for Justice? To me, it's supposed to be about ensuring people get justice. So how you have a Minister for Justice and these things happening? So it's just a title, maybe.
I'm wondering.
There's a title.
I'm wondering.
And especially when they have multiple ministries.
Yeah.
Maybe that one falls by the wayside. But to me, Minister for Justice, that should be your only portfolio.
By itself.
Your only portfolio.
I think so, too.
Because there's so much.
There's so much.
Exactly.
That happens.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right. So, remember yesterday you announced that there were maybe another 2 homicides.
Yes.
So it turns out apparently that it was one.
Okay. The other one did not die.
Yes, apparently. Okay.
Oh.
But that's
okay.
at least that's what I read. I read this morning.
Okay.
It's an 18-year-old, and I think we spoke about him. They said he had just graduated a few days before, and from the Bocage secondary school. I saw a pic of him, nice-looking young man, and so on.
With his awards and everything.
Yes,
Yeah,
but apparently there's something going on, because why would he be targeted like that?
And not just targeted, executed.
Executed. You're right.
At least they say over 20-something shots, something like that.
I'm not sure. That's what people are saying, but I'm not sure.
True.
But the family saying he was killed innocently. That's what the family is saying. But I'm looking at the young boy. I'm saying, but he looks like a serious young boy taking his education seriously.
Yeah.
What could he be involved in? That would cause him to have enemies, and to the point where you come, as you said, you execute the young man.
Yeah.
What could have been happening? But anyway, his name is Yannick Jean-Philippe. Okay.
It's kind of hard to find the right words,
And some members of the New Village community were saying that they are fearful for their sons as well. because these boys all lime
They all lime
together. I mean, that's what young boys do.
Yeah.
Right, Tony? That's the way we do.
We've heard several times, and so of late, that if I can't find you and you liming with me, then I come take you out. I'm not quite sure how true that is, but we've been hearing that over the last couple of years, and it's now a thing.
But you see, the most important thing, I keep saying that, the police must be equipped, right, to the point where we send a message, and not only send a message, we live the message that if you do those things, there's a high probability you are going to be caught. So you have them fellas, right, who can come and execute people, and that's not, we had three on the weekend, so basically 4 over a period of 4 days.
3, 4, yes.
Okay, and to tell me that these fellas, those who perpetrating those crimes, are out there. They're out there.
Yes, they are.
And Anthony, I follow these stories very, very, very closely. I know for sure there are situations where the police do give information and say they've arrested somebody, they've charged somebody, right? But the vast majority of the times, you don't hear that.
That's true.
Yeah, because
vast majority of the times.
They investigate. Someone somewhere knows something about all the murders that were committed over the weekend and those before it.
Well, that's for sure.
Someone knows something, somewhere knows something. And you actually said something yesterday, and it really struck me, that sometimes we have parents or guardians or friends that aid and abet criminals. They are aware that this individual either pulled the trigger, went into this house, broke into this house, and they stay silent. They're still within the confines of that home, and nobody is saying anything. And there could be a multitude of reasons why some individuals choose not to go to the police. Maybe fear, maybe that person is the breadwinner, so they are aware, hey, I know you're involved in criminal activity, but you don't want taking care of the household. But still,
think of it.
Think about it. Yes.
Well, let me put you on the spot, Keena. You have a son.
Okay.
I
wanted to go da-da, da-da, suspense. You know what I mean? Yes.
Yeah.
And action.
You have a son. You have a son, and you breastfeed that little boy. In fact, you carried him for 9 months, and sometimes he gave you a lot of trouble to come out, right? And you breastfeed this little boy. You love him. You do everything. It's a moi, moi, moi. Every day, making the most mois in the world, right? And you nurture that little boy, and you bring him to become a young man, and you develop a relationship. It's called LOVE. I love you to death, because even while you're raising him, there are times where you die for him. You sacrifice so much. You sacrifice so much for that little boy, and then now he begins to, something goes wrong. You don't know what it is. He begins to go astray. And now you know that he's involved in criminal activity. You know that. And you're hoping that he's going to turn around. One day he'll turn around. You're praying and you're hoping, but you love that little boy no matter what. All of a sudden, one day the police come to your house and tell you, we have information that your son was involved in a homicide. And we'd like to know, where do you think he is?
In the room.
But he ain't home.
Oh, well,
He ain't home. He ain't home, right? He ain't home. But you have an idea. You know where he limes and so on. You know his little movements. Would you tell him?
Yes, I
would you tell him?
Yes. Me? I don't know about other parents. Me, I would.
And you know that if you do that, they will arrest him.
He has
they
to
will
face
try
the
him.
consequences
They will
of
try
his
him.
actions.
Hold on. They will try him, and he may have to go to jail for years.
Well, as the old saying goes, "Sao fair, sao we kolte."
Okay.
I've warned you several times. I've spoken to you. Maybe I may have gotten other people to come on board or whatever. Sometimes we have to face the harsh reality of it, that some individuals, they just end going back. And that individual is creating havoc in that community, taking lives. You'll always love your son or your daughter, but do the right thing. I would do the right thing
Okay.
to get him or her off the street so that another life is not taken.
Okay, but it's tough.
It's tough.
I'm going to say
It's tough, right, Tony?
Yeah,
We agree.
Andre,
It is tough.
That is really, really. Let me tell you, that is difficult.
It is rough.
I have said straight up. I mean, it's on radio. We're out there in the world. I have said straight up on the radio that I'm not sure I would. I'm being honest with you.
Yeah.
This is my child. Maybe I would try again. This time the police came. Let's just say because Andrew said the police came and they say, "Hey, I'm going to arrest your son. Where is he?" And I'm like, "Wow, okay." Then I would talk to him. Andrew
We'll
might
try to get him first before the police.
Yeah, and talk to him and say, "Listen, man, they want you. You know, I mean, if you continue to do this,
to go.
No, not to go. If you continue to do this, next time I'm going to give you up." That kind of way. Maybe I would do that, but boy, to just sort of. There's another way that's the one I was prepared for. That same child, all the scenarios that Andre gave you there. They're not sure, but you know. Let's just say he just killed somebody. You have all the evidence. Your gun, he come home, gun in his hand, blood on his shirt, all kind of thing. And the police say they suspect that your son was involved. Would you say yes, he was involved?
I wouldn't say anything at that point. I don't think I will. I would still be in shock, most likely. But I would tell them, to have he's there.
He's there. I would talk with him.
There.
Yeah. In other words, like we put it before, you'd rat on him.
I'm not a parent.
Now,
So
I did not want to say it myself. I'm glad you went there.
Go deeper into it, but my belief is that right is right and wrong is wrong. I'm not quite sure how I would feel when I'm actually in the situation, but there have been situations where I have known something, maybe a friend's child or something, not that I write on the child. I'm going to the parents straight and be like, "Hey, you need to do something about that. You really need to, or maybe get help," and so on. But if it were my child, and there's so many things that I've done, it's out of my hands at this point. I've warned you, just to protect other people in society. This is what I gotta do, then this is what I gotta do. I'm still gonna be there. I'm still gonna love you nonetheless. I will still maybe come to the prison to see you, but that doesn't mean that I love you any less.
We spoke about that too. I'll give you one hard slap. You come and visit me. You have a visitor, and I come and seize you. If I could reach you, I grab you. Let me tell you, bah!
Yes.
Don't ever come back.
I got me. But you are the one doing your
rat
thing.
me, and you're the one that rat me.
No,
Nobody
but
knows.
still.
You know. You're the only person who knew.
Mikey, do I feel by you?
You know what I mean? Well, you rat on me. You send me to prison, and you want to come and visit me? Hey, I don't want to see you.
I just you be 600.
Newsflash, folks. Newsflash. Sean Diddy Combs, racketeering.
Wow.
Not guilty.
Oh, not guilty. Okay.
Sex trafficking. Not guilty.
Okay.
Not guilty on sex trafficking for Cassie Ventura. Not guilty on sex trafficking for Cassie Ventura.
Yeah.
Not guilty on Jane Doe, the other victim. Not guilty on Jane Doe, the other victim. Sean Diddy Combs guilty of trafficking for prostitution. Sean Diddy Combs guilty of trafficking for prostitution.
This one count?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yesterday, I kind of thought that I know racketeering, he'll not be found guilty. And the other verdicts, I was having a conversation with a friend of mine on the phone, and we were watching it live.
You look happy.
And yesterday on air, right, I was like, you know what? After hearing all of those things, I actually took myself out of the situation, and I had to go back and review some of the testimonies that were given over that period of time. And I was like, just what if? What if? Because I'm looking at it from this perspective. Don't get me wrong, and don't come at me. What Sean Diddy Combs did was wrong. Ain't no way. It was wrong. I mean, and some of the things that he did, abuse of Cassie and some of the other things, but there are situations where some of us willingly participate in certain things for monetary gain. And in some of the instances during Sean Combs' trial, some women admitted to that they did certain things willingly for monetary gain, that they did things willingly because of love for Sean Diddy Combs. There was a Jane Doe, so to speak, who actually said she was jealous because he was going out with another woman. And that woman is Young Miami, right? He had gone to the Bahamas or somewhere, and she was jealous. And she willingly went to a freak off because she was so jealous. There's so many things. And there were some other things that they just couldn't prove in court. They had no evidence of it. Cassie was actually the only solid witness on the stand.
I wonder those charges that he was found guilty on, I wonder what sentence they carry. I rather suspect they may probably give him a suspended sentence and
That's
call
the
it a
thing.
day.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's possible.
A slap on the wrist.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
That's why while you were reading it, I'm like, okay, he walks.
And you know the defense, part of the argument in court was that when they looked at the videos, that it looked like consensual sex. It wasn't looking like anything like they were being forced to do it.
Right.
Right?
Ooh.
Yeah.
So a picture paints 1,000 words. Follows a video. That'll be
Is the
10,000.
videos being shown in court for me? I was like, what?
Yeah, outfield, me say. Imagine somebody have to look at me in action
in
there.
the action there, and all that talk about baby oil and
Yeah.
he having to have baby oil in a chiller.
He wasn't part of it, you know. He was like looking at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of times.
Yeah.
And these freaky kind of fellas.
Okay. What, for want of the better word, he was organizing it.
Oh,
For
somebody
want of a
just
better word.
our good friend thanks for taking my call, says he'll spend 2 years in prison.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So that's what I'm saying, that he may get a suspended sentence. Maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
And he's been in prison for how long now? A few months.
Yeah.
So they're gonna, take that into consideration.
Time
if anything.
served. Was
Time
it
served.
time served?
So a year and 6
Yeah.
months.
Maybe.
A year and 6 months.
Okay.
Yeah, because he was found guilty on some of the charges.
Yeah.
So I guess he has to serve some time.
No, but even with that, just yesterday, I think it was, some other woman from Making the Band actually came out and said, you know what, Sean Combs raped her and all that stuff. And she actually, there's another, I don't know. Well, my brain cells freeze.
But I hope after all of this, after he serves his time and so
Behave
on,
yourself. That's what you.
yeah, he's gonna have to ask himself some questions.
Yeah, man. Especially being over 50. Or,
Yeah, a little bit. Stop behaving like a little boy, man.
Yeah.
Get serious about life. Your family have to hear all that kind of.
That's
Because they're in the courthouse all the time, you know.
They
the
have
daughter,
been, yeah.
his mom.
But is he married now?
No.
He's not.
He's not married. No. I think he's not married now. No. But he was
married to Cassie. And he was married to Cassie.
never.
Right.
I don't think he was ever married. No,
Yeah.
he did
'Cause
Kim Porter for a very long time.
J-Lo for a while.
And J-Lo for a while.
And J-Lo dumped him in a hurry. When I say in a hurry, I mean after realizing your situation, the way you are, and so on. You know?
And she moved on.
Moved on big time.
And moved on.
Again and again.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Well, we'll get all the details a little later.
Yeah,
Yes,
we'll get some more.
Just to go back to the homicides, that one touched me this morning. You know, when you see the kids are concerned. Yeah, one of the other homicides that happened on the weekend there, the 27-year-old Darnell, he left behind a 4-month-old child.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I saw a pic of him holding up that.
That's right. I saw, and looked like the kid is in love with this guy.
Oh gosh, yes.
Yeah, you could see, the relationship is there. They're tight.
Yes.
They're tight.
Yes.
4 months.
Yeah.
I wonder. Let's just assume a friend of yours, lured you, caused you to meet him or her someplace in some secluded area. Boy, I have some money for you. I can't give it to you such and such a place. Come there. Your own friend, Your own friend who was already won by another person to say, listen, you better make sure you get him to come there. Otherwise, you taking it, that kind of thing. And to see your friend come now, playing that kind of game, and you end up going there and you're being ambushed, and you realize you could taste your death. That's it. That's it. The way the guys are behaving, they're going to take you out, right? I wonder what their last thoughts are at that time. I wonder if he would quickly think of his little 4-month-old. I wonder
if you have the time.
Do you have the time? I have no idea. Maybe.
Okay. The way you said it, It's like, they hold you up first, and that's what you're thinking. They hold you up
then
first,
just execute
and
you right
they
away.
start talking to you, and
Yes,
then you
at that time there now, you're thinking.
Okay.
You're thinking,
Okay.
right?
Maybe.
Yeah, I think so. You start thinking about those that...
And obviously pleading.
Yeah.
Well, that's for sure.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
I hope no one has to find themselves in this situation, but that's very unlikely. I'm sure many have.
In the movies.
Right here, I'm sure there have been instances right here on island that has happened. I'm sure.
You're talking to me and letting me know what time it is before you execute me.
Yeah, man.
Isn't that something?
That's
What?
ooh.
Yeah, and I asked that question because I remember my experience when I was at the hospital, and the doctor told me they suspect I have a tumor. Now that just sent shockwaves through my system because I didn't expect to hear that, and I broke down at that point.
Crying thing?
Yeah, I was crying because I'm kind of asking myself, how did this thing happen? Tumor, kind of thing, and they have to have surgery right away. So between the time that they say they're going to be sending somebody to come take me into the surgery room, I had to think now, what do I do? So my first thoughts were my children, right? And I think, Tony, you can bear me out on that. I called Tony, I called Hassani, and I also called my eldest daughter. And my major thoughts were about the children. I told Tony exactly what I would like him to do to ensure, just in case I don't come out of that place. So I was just saying, at that time there, that's who I was thinking of, the children.
The children always come first.
Yeah, man.
In that situation.
Yeah. Andre and Keena. Well, Andre has children. But, as I said, it was a rude awakening for me. I think I've expressed that before. When I had to be with a woman who had my child, and to see the child came first all the time. I didn't know how to handle that, and I did not handle it well. I'm being honest with you. I did not handle it well.
Yeah, that's how it is. That's how the ladies are. I can tell you, even if you're the husband, don't talk if you're the boyfriend. Man, the child comes first, boy. The whole thing is to protect. That's just the way that they are naturally. So I guess, Tony, now moving forward, you ain't dating anybody who has a kid.
I wouldn't say that. I did, and I enjoyed the kid.
You mean after that relationship you had another
after
one?
that one?
Yeah.
Yeah,
with
man.
another.
Yeah, but I mean, that's life. You meet people and they already have a child or children.
I know, but Tony, you didn't handle it well in the first place. So what makes you?
That was a lesson.
So you were a bit more mature going forward.
For sure.
Because of that situation.
For sure. I understood it a whole lot better. Yeah.
Okay.
But even with you, Andre, were you fearful at all going into surgery?
Yes, of course, definitely. Because I have a tumor, and I know people who go in there and they never come out alive. So that was on my mind. Hey, boy, just in case, and you never know. After I compose myself, right, I kind of like say, okay, well, if that's what it is, that's what I have.
Well, then there's nothing you could do about it. Just leave it in God's and the doctor's hands, right?
And I remember a doctor came in there, and she could see all distraught and everything, and she said to me, "No, you're fine. I know she's just saying that just to make me feel a little better." But I was
you're fine now.
I was feeling bad, man. I was feeling bad at the time. I said, "What, man?" And I'm there thinking, what if I make it outside?
What
if
is
I
life
leave
going
that,
to
what
be
will
like
life for
after?
me now? I have to now deal with a tumor and this guy. Boy. So imagine my relief when they told me what I had.
What exactly?
Imagine my relief.
I'm glad you went
So
there.
at first they said it was a tumor,
Yeah.
That's what
and
they
it turns
suspect.
out that it wasn't?
No.
Yes. Story.
Yeah, it was a gangrenous appendix. Yeah, my appendix had gangrene.
You
Yeah.
could die too.
So I was a mess inside of my I was a mess. Complete mess.
Mine did not reach that stage. And I'm wondering because I felt pain a few times. And I'm like, okay, I have some gas problems. Every little pain you have, everybody blaming on gas.
Yes,
you know what I mean? So I have some gas problems. Then I have some food poisoning. I blame everything.
For every person.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, and when I came back, when I came to, right, because after the sedative fades away and so on, I'm sitting now. I'm sitting after the surgery, and I'm feeling the pain. I know for sure they went inside there. They did the stuff, and the doctors came, about 4 of them, and I'm waiting for the bad news. So I say, okay, all right. laid on me. What's up? What's up?
Mm-hmm.
And then they said it was your appendix.
Oh, so
Yeah.
until they went in, you never knew that.
No, they didn't know before.
They didn't know
Yeah,
either. That's
it's
what he's
after the- yeah.
saying. It was after surgery.
That's what they said. They
yeah.
suspected it was a tumor.
Oh.
They couldn't figure it out. They took the X-rays and everything, couldn't figure it out. So I'm just saying, at that time, there was just like a relief. I said, what? Okay, so when can I go home? They said, no way, not yet.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Not
How
yet.
long were you there for?
For about 2 weeks.
Yeah,
About 2 weeks.
For a while, you know.
Yeah.
You
for a
had
while.
to leave you
Because inside was a mess.
Right.
It was a real mess.
Right.
How,
And they had to
what
drain all
size
that
is
stuff.
it?
They had to drain all
How
that
did
stuff.
that happen?
Nobody knows.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's no known cause of that thing. Yeah.
Huh?
And it's very rare as well. Yeah.
So it just happened.
Yeah. Let me just for the benefit of the listeners that we have, we just thank you every single day for tuning in, and following what we say and sometimes comment on what we say. Let me tell you, this is a very, very serious thing. Both Andre and myself had the operation. I had mine first, all right, and mine did not reach the what we call gangrenous
Yes.
stage. So I was kind of lucky. Okay, when you start to feel pain in your lower abdomen, in particular on the right side, maybe that's the thing with Doctor in the House. Doctor in the House was really nice yesterday, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Doctor in the House, he could probably talk about. Okay, bring in maybe an expert because he is, was it ANT, right?
ENT.
ENT, right. Bring in an expert, talk about that the particular thing because it's very, very common
It's
out
common,
there.
yeah.
Okay, you start to feel little pains in the stomach, check it out because it can lead to the gangrenous stage. And it can poison. What it does is when it reaches that stage, it poisons your blood.
Now I had no pain.
You had no
You had
pain.
no
It was just a tummy ache.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
And then just that once, Andre. Mine was constant. You understand? Mine
so
was constant.
prior to that, just
There was no
So you
pain,
had no
nothing,
pain?
just a tummy ache.
Oh, for just one night, right?
No, a couple of days.
Oh, so you
Oh,
had
well,
that
that's
for the
good.
And I went to check the doctor, asked what was going on. They gave me some. I said, okay, if it doesn't stop, then you go to the hospital. So when it didn't stop, the tummy ache didn't stop, and I went to the hospital and EU, and then they're telling me you ain't leaving here tonight.
oh,
You ain't leaving here
it's a
tonight.
good thing they caught it early.
For me,
They were able to-
right, exactly.
Thank God for the body now
Yeah.
giving you an indication
That's
that,
right.
that
We've
something
been
is
saying
wrong.
That,
That
so
is
many
what I'm
times.
talking
We've said
about.
that so many times.
Okay, so let me just quickly hasten to add that big ups to the Grosley Polyclinic. Somebody advised me to go to the Grosley Polyclinic. I drove myself there, stayed there a lot of hours. Eventually, when they saw me, I said to them, yeah, maybe a little food poisoning or something. The doctor looked at me and said, nah, man, that ain't no food poisoning, man. This is a bigger problem than that. So we're going to send you to the, back then, Victoria Hospital, send you there, and then make sure, do some other tests and so on, and eliminate certain things and so on. And then they did that. And a few tests. I said, but you just did that about an hour ago. You have to do that again. In particular, pushing the finger. Up.
The finger. Yeah, that's true. When I went to see my doctor, right, he did it. And we men, we don't like that at all. We don't like it at all.
Yeah.
So when I went to the hospital, this doctor going to tell me, well, we have to do this again.
Again, eh? You're like, again?
I say,
man?
again?
It's very uncomfortable, isn't it?
And I look at the one finger. I made have one
big finger.
I made have one massive finger. Oh my God.
And let me give you the joke. It ain't just, okay, finger up the anus, and, nah.
Yeah, they have to play. They have to play.
They have to play.
And when they put those latex gloves,
yeah.
Was that a robot or something?
No, when
gosh, the
the
gloves.
sound, the latex
Oh,
gloves.
it doesn't sound like that.
It doesn't?
No.
Well, tell us what it sounds like.
It sounds like plastic.
You know,
You ain't clack.
take all that. He doesn't say the things are like plastic.
We have temporarily lost Keena, miss. Yeah,
I think so. I hope you can get up.
Keena is flawed, by the way. She's flawed.
I hope she can get up.
The timing was so perfect.
Yes,
Only yesterday we spoke
said
about
that.
it. You know what I mean? That's why, you know what I mean? She's probably responding that way, you know? So she see it in full color. Oh, gosh.
He doesn't say the things are like plastic. Come on, man.
This was a good one. This was a good one.
All right, Keena, come back,
Yes,
come back,
yes,
come back.
yes, yes.
Come back.
No, don't do that again. Don't just yes, I'm not ready.
Let me tell you, that was like a Tyson punch, you know. You know, just floated.
Go down there.
Oh my goodness. Yes, yeah. I had to get off the floor, guys. Sorry, I'm back now. Oh my goodness.
I wish to go back and see this video because I didn't see her fall. You saw her fall?
Yes, I
He
did.
did. He was shocked. I saw him, but when I was going down, I saw
you saw
his
his
facial
face.
expression, but I'm trying. It's like he just made it worse because because we were just recently we were having this conversation, and I said I'll love to hear him do it or say it, right? And by the time he did with the hand movement, I was like, whoa. And it just took me out. Talk about being floored. I was literally on the floor, guys.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
More updates on the Sean Diddy situation. The jury is asking that they allow him to go home.
The jury asked?
Yeah, the jury actually asked him
of course,
that
yeah.
he allow him to go home until the sentencing
Oh.
because they say he's not a threat to society.
Okay.
They said he could serve as long as 10 years.
Really?
Yeah,
Well,
yes.
again, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
That's
pretty much because of the
okay.
two charges that he was found guilty of.
maybe about a good 5 years on each of
Yeah.
them, somewhere around there.
Because he was incarcerated till, his hearing, his trial. So I am happy that the jury, said, you know what, allow him to go home, to be with his family and so on.
Not the jury. His lawyers, I think you said.
But it says jury.
The jury.
Also, the
That's
jury.
what he said, the jury.
Okay. All right. Wow.
Now,
the
what
jury.
does that say,
Okay.
though?
Yeah, exactly.
When does the jury have that say?
You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm like,
Do
wait
they?
a second.
Can
I
they?
thought it was his lawyers.
Must have.
I thought it was his lawyers.
Maybe a lawyer should weigh
requesting.
in. I don't know.
And they said his attorney asked as well.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Okay.
But again, all this is preliminary. So let's wait until the dust settles by maybe midday 1 o'clock. Things should be a lot clearer. Alrighty. I just want to mention something. I mean, I just got to mention this. Iran was suspected of having nuclear weapons, right? Or at least preparing to have nuclear weapons. I think they spoke about the amount of uranium that they had and whatever percentage. It was really at 60%, so it looked as though it was going to 100%. But Tony and Keena, I don't trust these people. I don't trust these people.
The Iranians?
No. The West. It was in the West.
Oh, okay.
I'm not saying these people are not telling the truth, but now I see the face of these people. I really see the way that they operate and so on. They tell a lot of lies. They bluff, especially where money is concerned, right? They seem to be moved by the American dollar, right? Or I should say the almighty dollar. So I don't really believe those people when they say those things, because when it first came out, I think some organizations said that they did very little damage to the facilities, okay? And then now the Pentagon came out and said, nah, that's not true. I mean, the people who were supposed to know said very little damage was done. And then you have the people in the Pentagon immediately coming up now, covering up and saying, hey, we destroyed it and whatever. So yeah, I don't trust those people. Maybe they're telling the truth, but I don't trust them. Anyway.
There's no definitive proof that they do have nuclear weapons. And even I just kind of checked online.
Exactly.
The International Atomic Energy Agency, the Global Authority on Nuclear Non-Proliferation has consistently stated, that's what they're saying there, that it has found no evidence of Iran actively, having any nuclear
exactly, exactly. Now, the masters of the world, America,
United States of
America, yeah, that's right, and their first cousin Israel, thinking that they can take on almost anybody. Israel has been involved in about 3 or 4 different wars over the last couple of years, last close to 2 years or somewhere around there, right? A few wars in Lebanon. I think they were involved of course, in the Gaza war. There's another place, that they were involved in another war again. And now you have the Iran situation where they went and they attacked the people's country, man. They went and attacked the Iranians. They killed. No, let me take it back. They murdered, okay? Some of the best minds in the country, because you feel the fellas developing a nuclear weapon. Who gives Israel that right to do something like that? They went into the people's country and bombed the place, right? And the number has topped 900 people. A lot of these people are innocent people. Listen to this. Out of the 935, right, casualties include 38 children, 102 women, some of whom were pregnant at the time. Okay? And that's a 12-day war that they were involved in. Just bombing. Of course, Iran was responding. But Iran is no match for the power of the Iranian Israeli Defense Forces. They're no match. So they kill military commanders, nuclear scientists, ordinary civilians. They even bomb a prison. And you have to ask yourself, why would they bomb a prison? Maybe, but even in the prison, they killed prisoners. Family came there to see their family. These people got killed, right? Israel is doing this sort of thing, and of course assisted by the United States, who later came and bombed the Iranian facilities and so on.
The United States themselves.
That's right. Came and do their own thing
as well.
Their turn. And I was asking myself, how could these countries be allowed to do those kinds of things?
Just a quick question: is the United States bombed Iran because they came again because of the
nuclear the sites.
Yeah.
So they use these what they call the
drones.
These stealth bombers.
Bombers.
Yeah, they drop these 20,000 or 30,000 pound bombs. How many of them they drop them? Because this thing, like they bore a hole, go down there and just explode, right? So that's what they did. That's after the Israelis went then and bombed the people. How could people just be taking people's lives like that, like it's nothing? I could just go and just bomb you just so.
But they're justifying it, and that's what's happening, and that's what's being said.
But here's the justification that Iran is producing or will be producing nuclear weapons. That's the reason. Yeah,
you're killing innocent people without any proof.
You're just bombing people just like that.
Same reason why they said about Saddam Hussein.
Exactly, weapons of mass destruction.
That's right,
and that wasn't true.
Exactly.
And you know how many American soldiers died in that war? I think it was about 10,000
American soldiers.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah.
Because Iraq, as they call them, their boys were killed in this war.
Yeah, because Iraq was not playing.
And Israel is the one that going to give the Americans information, because Mossad they know everybody's business, and giving their fellows incorrect information. So they went now on that assumption that Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction.
And what's sad is that when they found out that they got false information, that as the phrase, nothing for that.
Yeah, nothing for that.
He was still considered a bad guy in their eyes. He'll always be a bad guy.
Yes, exactly.
Because he was the leader of an organization.
And you see what happened there after that war? Iraq was a mess, a complete mess. You saw what happened in Afghanistan. They did the same thing in Afghanistan, a complete mess again. Where they were living under during Biden's time, and people running after an aircraft.
Yeah,
the same Taliban they tried to remove. In 1 week, the Taliban was back in power,
yeah.
and still in power.
Still in power.
Still in power, actually. Yeah.
I mean, man, I just do not understand this thing. Anyway, but Elon Musk is now really turning against Donald Trump. It's going to be interesting to see what happens because Musk is saying if they pass that bill, he's going to start another party. Yeah. Okay.
Trump will ship him
Musk,
back to South
Musk
Africa.
knows. Yeah. Trump said he wants to send him back to South Africa. Yeah. To deport him.
They might send Trump back to Germany.
Well, they can't do that. He's the president of the United States.
As soon as he serves his term, go back to Germany.
Now,
He's pulling
now
all
hear
the
that.
cards.
Hear that. Elon Musk knows how much they love the American dollar. He knows that. These politicians, they can be easily bought. So now he's saying if they pass that bill, which they have, and by the way, a narrow majority,
Yeah,
51 to 50.
to 50.
And of course, it was J.D. Vance that broke the tie. Of course, you
Vice
expect him
President.
to always vote for Donald Trump. So no doubt Donald Trump is very, very happy right now. He'll get that thing, I think, on the 4th of July. That's what he said.
on the 4th,
and just go
yeah.
and sign off on that.
A big holiday in the USA. That's just now, eh? Today's the
It's-
second.
yeah, 2 days, yeah.
Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday.
Yeah, Friday.
Wow.
So Musk is saying that bill will add another $5 trillion to the debt that America is carrying. That's his argument. And of course, as far as Trump is concerned, you're talking Papi Show. So he says if that bill passes, he said the next day there'll be another party. So let me see what happens. These are interesting times.
I just
and
see
Musk knows he can buy
I just
them
see
for
it
us.
as a clash between two billionaires. That's what I see it as.
Boy.
Imagine if fellas fall out of it.
You know, to be honest with you, I thought it was like J.D. Vance that probably followed with Trump eventually. I was thinking
figure?
so.
You think?
Yeah. I said
saw
eventually.
Elon Musk coming.
Yeah. I didn't see
I did
Musk.
not. No, I didn't.
You
I
didn't?
did not see that at all.
I know he and Musk would have always parted ways because you talk about the Malquab,
Yeah.
you know.
Don't fall down. Don't fall down. Don't fall down. I'll hold you.
But imagine that to go to that point, one boy. So let's see. Musk really starts this, and he knows. Listen, he knows money talks.
Yeah.
He knows that.
Yeah.
So he can buy a lot of people.
Please explain this. Start another party.
Yes.
We know that there's the Republican
And the
Party
Demo-
and the Democrats.
Yeah.
That's right. So he wants to come with a new party. He says one that will really and truly represent the people.
You mean what
'Cause
that
he
will
says-
really and truly
yeah.
represent Elon
Elon
Musk?
Musk.
Yeah,
You know
he's
what I
saying
mean?
that the
You know?
Republican Party is no different to the Democrats. Now he's saying that now.
Okay.
They're no different.
Oh,
Well, he
Andrea,
was in the belly of it. So.
I rather suspect it'll happen.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
mid
he'll-
Yeah,
not,
yeah,
jo- mid
it'll
not
happen.
joking.
Yeah.
Mid not joking.
Yeah.
He might form the party out of the United States then, and then come back.
So Trump might just deport him for true.
You know what I'm saying?
But I don't think I don't think they can do that
I don't think they
because
can.
he's a
but
naturalized citizen.
yeah, but I'm sure Trump will work his way around.
Yeah, it's true. He'll find a way around it for true. That's true. Yeah, they're going to tell ICE to go and arrest the man. And put him on the next aircraft.
Oh my gosh.
Send him to El Salvador. Yeah. Anyway, let's get into the shout outs.
Okay. So, on the WhatsApp platform, Josiane was the first to chime in. She says, "Good morning, Rev-Up family." Good morning, Josiane.
Hello there, Josiane. Hope all is well. You and family.
Someone else chimed in and says, "Good morning, Andre Tony Keena. Not sure about your show this morning. One of your guests was very defensive about a lot of issues raised, especially the disorganization of the bands and the sex, rum, and carnival problems. Secondly, celebrities visiting St. Lucia is not a thing. It's not a now thing. What has changed is the addition of social media where everyone lives on a blast. Thirdly, I do not think the word foreigner is the correct term of persons visiting the island and wanting to be part of our carnival."
Yeah, well, they should have called.
Yes.
They should have called the show. There's something I forgot to do, Let me do it now. I completely forgot to do it. That's one of the rare times it happens. The Tomaso bread place.
Yaslin Eatery?
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
yes. I completely forgot to do it.
Yeah.
And normally I keep my notes there. So today's going to be chicken pilau and 1 pot fish broth. All right, so chicken pilau today and 1 pot fish broth. Yeah, and that's the real food.
One
This
pot
is-
fish
this is the
broth.
real
I want the
food.
pilau. I want the fish broth. I can have the pilau now and the fish broth tomorrow.
Later. No,
tonight, for dinner.
No, I'm not a heavy eater.
You serious?
That pilau would last me like 2.5 days. Or so.
Oh, wow. That's why I tearing that up right away.
No,
not-
I can't.
Very-
2 days?
So the pilau, Andre?
Yeah, man.
Okay, would last you two servings.
No, I did right away.
Oh, really?
Is it? The entire thing.
You serious?
Yeah,
I
man,
can't.
dead serious.
That's too much.
Okay.
So, chicken pilau.
And then you're like which one they say that eats and for days it's just in hibernation? The snake.
Oh, the
Yeah,
snake.
the snake.
Quite a few, the lions as well. Lions, they
eat and they-
heavy, and they stay there for how long, and they don't eat anything.
Well, Andre not in hibernation, eh?
That's right. So don't forget, folks, at the Thomas of Bread Place, chicken pilau, alongside one pot fish broth, and of course the usual sea moss flavors: coconut, ginger, peanut, and peanut punch, and regular sea moss with flaxseed and chia seeds.
Just
So my
quick
humble
question.
apologies to the folks at the Thomas of Bread Place.
Quick question: does Yaslin deliver?
No.
Maybe they should think about that.
Yeah. Not,
Yeah,
at least not officially.
Add maybe a delivery fee and
Yes.
maybe deliver.
Don't get bypass that. Not officially. She doesn't deliver officially.
Officially.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But she's listening, so she may take
okay.
on
Good,
the
Yaslin.
advice.
Good morning, Yaslin, by the way. Kisses. Mwah. Someone else chimed in and says, okay, I have 3 cats to give away. Can I bring them to you? They're 2 months old.
To who? To you?
Yeah, you.
Me? My dog. I have a dog.
I wonder why they would want to bring the cats there. When they say bring them to you, who are they referring to?
I'm not sure. Who are you referring to? Can you respond?
Yeah, please, respond. Yes,
Yeah.
because Keena is a puppy lady.
Yeah,
right.
I'm a dog person, not cat.
Mhm.
Thanks for accepting my call, says, oh, you said it already earlier. Didi will spend 2 years in prison. Virginia chimed in and she says, good morning, Tony, Andre, and Keena. Keena, I want you to know that I'm with you 100%. As a parent, I've always stood firmly on this. If my son were ever to do something as serious as taking someone's life, he knows not to call me to cover it up because I would call the police myself. That's how strongly I feel about accountability. Let me share something that happened with a friend of mine, someone very similar to Tony. One second, let me continue. She once said she wouldn't report her child no matter what, so I gave her an example. I asked, if someone raped your daughter, what would you do? Without hesitation, she said, I would do whatever it takes to make sure that boy goes to jail. Then I flipped the situation and asked, what if it was your son who raped someone else's daughter? Would you call the police? She went silent and then admitted she had never thought of it that way. I told her, you want to protect your daughter, and rightly so, but every other parent wants to protect their daughter too. So why is it okay to protect your son but expect another parent's son to go to jail? She also went on to say, we need to hold all our children, boys and girls, to the same standards. Accountability and justice should not be based on gender or who we love more. Right is right and wrong is wrong.
Virginia sent that?
Yes.
Okay. Well done, Gina.
Someone else chimed in and said, hello everyone, it's Madrina Moreau
Hey, Madrina. Hi.
of Colorado Springs, Colorado.
Yes.
Good
Right.
morning.
That was our first place winner for the
Yes.
Father's
I remember the
Day.
name.
Yeah, Father's Day giveaway.
Alton Basie Robinson says, Bonjour Rev-Up, that's very funny, but to me, that dangerous since they can't see what they are touching. They should use a different method. I think most times they damage the prostate of people without even knowing. Going in the red.
That's a possibility.
Someone else chimed in and said Sean Diddy Combs was found guilty of transportation to engage in prostitution, but not guilty of sex trafficking and racketeering. In a mixed verdict on Wednesday, now facing up to 10 years in prison. Combs, 55, was charged with 5 counts, 1 count of racketeering, conspiracy, and 2 counts each of sex trafficking and transportation to engage in prostitution. The person also went on to say more details to come. Good morning to all. Continue the great work of educating and entertaining us, the listeners. Andre, did you enjoy the question asked by Thanks for accepting my call on Doctor in the House?
Yeah, enjoy it.
I'm not sure. That was that was last night.
Yeah, I know.
Do you
but
remember the
last
question?
night, Vaguely.
Okay.
Someone
Someone else.
yeah. He asked the. Here's what he asked. He was saying, after you give blood, how soon can you have sex?
You need to take your time, Mr. Sylvester. I'm not sure about that. I'm just playing.
That's what you know. Yeah. If you're strong enough.
Yeah.
If you're strong enough.
What was the doctor's response?
He gave me, I think, with 4 hours or something like that.
4 hours. Okay. To anybody else wondering, 4 hours, okay?
But try remember, that's true. He did ask that question. Good one, caller. I'm sorry, Chimer. Good one.
Someone else said, blessings to my Rev-Up family. Blessed and beautiful day to all. Andre Paul, you had me laughing so hard a few minutes ago. My.
You mean
Now-
Keena had you laughing?
No, you did. That's what he said. Oh, the individual said before they come for me. Let me make sure it's a woman. It's Lorena. Sorry.
Oh, Lorena.
Mwah.
Hey, Lorena. Morning to you.
And she went on to say, now you imagine the little finger going there.
Little?
No, but it can't.
This is the little finger.
Well, it's the little finger going in there.
The middle.
The
That is why when people show you the middle finger, you know that's a bad word. You know what I mean?
Well, it going in there is very uncomfortable anyway. The guys are not used to it.
She's
So-
specifying the guys are not.
So maybe that's why it's very uncomfortable for guys anyways. So
But not quite for women.
I've never.
I
I'm
asked
sure,
you no
I'm
question.
sure it's going to be uncomfortable as well. Even when you're going for a pap smear, there's some level of uncomfortability in there. I don't like it either, but you just do it because you know, it's part of the process. Now, she went on to say, now you're imagining the little finger going in there. What about the other way round? Love you guys, Lorena.
Love you too, Lorena.
We love you, Lorena. What about the other way around?
I'm not sure.
Oh, you're not sure?
Moving on.
You'll eventually figure it out.
Someone says, let's sit back with our popcorn and watch the movie. It must come to an end. Okay.
I'm not
Is
sure.
it this?
I'm not
Is it
sure.
this movie? Because
This movie.
must be. Yeah.
The
Okay.
trio.
All right.
Well, it's the hard. No. Anyways, moving on. Nicholas
a lot of
Shari.
people checking in. Wow.
Yeah, he
Okay.
said, Rev up my brothers and sister from another mother. I'm in my gym right now, working out and enjoying the program. Hi, Keena.
Nikki, partner. Hope all is well. Hope all is
Partner,
well.
up to now, Mahen Poisson, Mahen Kisawa.
Everything.
Hi,
And
Nikki,
Nikki promised a
good
lot, you know.
morning.
He promised a lot.
Maybe he's going to surprise us one day. Someone says, you can lie down for people to walk on you and they will still complain that you are not flat enough? Live your life? That's a forwarded message, so I'm not quite sure what the person
Lost
is trying to
that
say.
one.
Maybe it's a quote. Anyways, continue on, Tony.
Oh, you're
on
done.
the Facebook platform, yeah.
All right. Well, on the Facebook, we are seeing that Sharon checking in first this morning. She says, it's hump day. Good morning, Rev Up.
Morning,
And
Sharon.
Morning, Sharon.
All is well.
Matilda Florent says, good morning. And Sharon came again and says, good morning to the swim shop staff, Kim and Claire. So good morning to Kim and Claire at the swim shop staff. Well, they are the swim shop staff. Yeah, that's hard to say.
Yes, it's a tough
Wow.
one.
So good morning, Kim and Claire. Pius Snappy Yeman says, good morning. Sharon came back and says, John Flavian, good morning. Lucita Jean-Pierre says, good morning to everyone. Andre, beautiful Keena, Jerome, just so in the cap too. Jerome. Well, she says, Andre, don't follow them with the cap. Lilia Victor says, good morning, everyone, and happy Wednesday. Thank
Morning,
you,
Lilia.
Have
Good
a
morning,
great day.
Hope
Lilia.
all is well.
Followed by Ticina Lovelace. Good morning, Paul Brothers and Keena.
Good morning, Ticina.
Barbara Augustine says, my favorite people, good morning. Always a pleasure listening to Rev Up. All in the chat room. Hello. Thank you, Barbara. Pius Snappy Yeman, of course, this time Pius is putting some emojis of laughter. Lots and lots of laughter. Also, Sylvester Bissett says, good morning to the Rev Up family. Good morning to you, weatherman.
Hey, morning to you, partner.
Lorne Jules says, good morning to the queen of SLU Media, Keena.
Good morning, Lauren. Welcome back.
Peacemaker says, good morning, my brothers and my beautiful sister. Lauren Jules came up again and said, good morning to Andre, Tony, and the rest of the staff and engineers of Rev-Up St. Lucia. Thank you, Lauren.
Thank you, Lauren.
Hey. Even the engineers as
You know
well.
what I'm saying? Everybody.
Thanks, Lauren.
Cosmos, hope you heard that.
That's right. Peacemaker says, bravo, Keena, feels so good, but I have my length of heels not too thin, I suppose. I like heels that I can run if anything happens.
I
That's
agree.
Peacemaker. Josie Stevens says a good hairstyle and wearing heels. Y'all put in heels there, see it's heels, Heels. A good hairstyle and wearing heels is the best look on ladies. Now that is true. I didn't get to say that. You know, they look sexy, and they have to walk a certain way.
Yes.
You know, in the heels. All right. Carmen Salapang says hello, Rev-Up. Hello, Andre, Tony, and Miss Keena.
Hello, Miss Salapang in the
Good morning,
Philippines.
Miss Alapine.
Thank you very much for
Hi.
chiming in. We really do appreciate you, and hope that you chime in a little more often. Yeah, hope all is well with you, health-wise, etc., and with your family as well.
And she continues, she says, hope everything goes well. Have a blessed day ahead, both. And hello to Henry's Baker Shop, especially to Luther. Arriba. She says, happy to hear you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you again,
Thank
Carmen.
you.
Thank you, Miss Salapang. Thank you very much.
Melody Destine says, pleasant Wednesday morning to all. Thank you, Melanie. Have a great one. Septima
Thanks,
Joseph
Melanie.
says, good morning, blessed Wednesday to all. Peacemaker came up again and says, heels. Heels are great. Heels are great, make you feel sexy, yes. But there's a big thing called doctor's money.
I guess
do make
foot issues.
Yes.
sexy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it says, it does make you feel sexy. Jan Blast Warner, to me, it's a while we hadn't heard from her,
Yeah,
right? A few
welcome
days,
back,
huh?
Jan. Good
Right.
morning.
Jan says, my Rev-Up family, Tony, Andre, and our sweet Keena, good morning. What's with those caps? Look lovely. Next time, get Andre one. He is the odd one. Dear. Haha. Peacemaker says, blessings to all who is watching and listening. Thank you, Peacemaker. Peacemaker again says, I'm home today watching tennis. Oh, Andre and Keena, the tennis thing, boy. It's Wimbledon. That's the grass courts. The third, what we call Grand Slams. It's like the big bucks. You know, the bigger tournaments. There are 4 of them. That's the third one. So a lot of people, and it's in England. And that's the only tournament that dictates you wear white.
Wow.
Imagine that. It dictates you must have white on. Imagine that. Yeah, Wimbledon.
Don't they usually have white?
In the other tournaments, you can put whatever color you want.
But to me, I've never seen any fancy colors. So does white to me.
You ain't watching tennis?
Okay.
Yeah, lately they've been,
All
adding
kind
a
of
bit
colors.
color.
Okay.
Black. The Williams sisters used to put on whatever they want. You know what I mean? And even Andre sometimes even the style of the outfits and so on to play tennis.
Wow, I didn't even notice that.
Sometimes you get I think did she have it before? I think she retired. Venus Williams had her own persons, or she had her own company making her.
Yeah, she was,
Right.
designing her own.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Right, designing
Okay.
her own. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Maybe
Right.
psychologically, I really.
You just think white.
Yeah, white.
It's white.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was
okay.
white for quite a long time, till I think Serena. No?
Maybe not. But again, only. I mean, I don't know for the other tournaments. I just know for Wimbledon, it's the only one. And from the time I started watching tennis, the other tournaments, you wear whatever you want.
Okay.
Yeah. But the Wimbledon, white. Yeah, man. All right. So, Peacemaker, enjoy the tennis. And it's good to know that you're watching tennis and you're right there with us as well. That for me means a whole lot. Thank you.
Thank
you
you.
very, very much. Peacemaker says, amen, Josie Stephen. All right. Lucita Jean-Pierre, good morning, everyone on live and Radio Garden. Share the link. What's it? Baudier, everyone I know in St. Lucia, telling me I heard your name on Andre radio station. Papa God. Meaning Lucita Jean-Pierre, that she's here. When we said that, it seemed as though she's saying everyone told her that she's here and they're hearing her name on the radio station.
I wonder if she's saying, You know what I mean? Meaning, maybe I shouldn't have said that, maybe.
Because probably sometimes you're on the island and
you want to have your little piece.
Right. Yeah. Well, but Anyway,
I think it's a good thing
that people telling her
based
that, is
on
it?
how she said it.
Yeah, maybe. It's like, whoa, we made her super popular.
I hope so. I hope so.
Yes. All right, Joan Challery says, good morning, Andre and Tony and Keena and everyone listening. Thank you, Joan Challery. Peacemaker, Andre, even he give thought time or not, he didn't deserve to treat that that way. These police officers should
Mario Dean
know better and know how to handle these things.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
Feel this parents' pain. Yeah.
The Mario Dean story.
Wish I saw it earlier so I could interpret it while I was reading it, because there's some, Right. Peacemaker, good morning, Lucita Jean-Pierre. How are you, sis? God's blessing, grace, and mercy to you, honey. Oh, my God, that's nothing in Jamaica. Wow. Okay. Peacemaker, the 2025 Wimbledon Championship going on. Right. Tony, not lady in red. I think it's man in red, LOL. Maybe talking about you because you're dressed in red. All right. So let's see how much time I have left. Roughly 9 minutes, roughly. West Day Duet, blessings to all on the morning. Thank you, West Day Duet. Elsa Hippolyte says, greetings to my Paul brothers, Keena, and all in the chat room. Have a fantastic day. Thank you, West Day Duet. But that's Elsa, right, Elsa. Now, West Day Duet. Andre, this little boy allowed his friend's voice to be louder than yours. So you will have to face the consequences of your actions. Know what she's talking about?
Probably the kid that got killed, maybe.
Okay.
The 18-year-old, maybe.
Okay. All right. Okay, so moving right along. Paya Snappy, yeah man. Paya says, Didi found guilty on 2 counts. We got that. Jan Blast Warner, Tony, I'm still laughing at that one hard slap. Well. When I said you come and watch me, come and see me in jail, I was like, you one hard slap. West Day Duet, I turning you in faster than milk turned to cheese.
West Day Duet.
I knew, let me see, right. I knew that they would have not been guilty on a lot of the charges.
Oh, great.
All right, West Day Duet. They're still sending him to jail and Trump will pardon for the rest.
You think Trump would? We'll wait and see.
Not so for R. Kelly. Clara Sammy says, good morning, family. Happy Wednesday. Thank you, Clara. Cynthia Hines, too many colorful men involved with the same behavior. Okay, colorful men.
Colorful men, meaning, well, we know what that means.
Yeah, and that's why some men from the lower end feels it's okay to be involved in the same traits. Thank you for that right there. West Day Duet says, it's the money. The wealth makes them think they are untouchable. Cynthia Hines replied, Andre, mwe pa kopanu. I guess maybe the tea maybe, just perhaps. I don't know if you had said it already. Now, my people, let our prayers be our weapon of armor. The word of God. Let go and let God have his way. That's Peacemaker. Kingsley Armstrong.
Hey, Kingsley.
Good morning to you. Rev-Up family, good morning. Enjoying the discussion as always. Tony, I'm eagerly looking forward to your show later. Cheers. It's not, this evening, right? Okay, this evening. Great. Yeah. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate, Manshala. Really appreciate. All right, and again, since we added just quickly, Rev-Up the Homegrown will switch pretty soon after the promo is out there, and we let a lot of people know about it. It'll switch from this time, like 11:30 to 12:30, Monday and Tuesday. Keep that in mind and wait for the promo to come out and hit you.
You heard that, Kingsley? All right, partner.
Yeah, man. All right, so moving right along, we say what's up to Peacemaker again, and what about every community come together as one with a night of prayers. Join each other in prayers. Love each other. Join hands together in prayer. Be kind. Let the Holy Spirit move in our St. Lucia. Such a beautiful country we have. All right, let's continue. Marvin Shallery. Hello, Paul brothers and Keena. Saying hello to Montreal, or from Montreal.
Good morning.
Thank you for that, Marvin Shallery. Peacemaker, Lord have mercy. You all cracking me, making me cry. Oh, mama. West Tidwell, boy, Keena. Oh, I guess that's after the Keena, the laughter thing. Now we're talking. Boy, Keena with that laugh. Arthur St. Jeez. Arthur, good morning. That flawed laughter was epic. Arthur, it definitely was. That was really something. And I wish the camera had shown her on the floor. That would be even more special. But I didn't see her, man. I have to go back and watch this. So she's just like,
Yeah, she just.
Okay, I got 5 minutes. Let's continue. Nisa Joseph Seeley. Hi, Nisa. Nisa says, per Google, gangrenous appendicitis is a severe form of appendicitis where the appendix tissue begins to die due to a lack of blood supply. Nice rhyme. This occurs when inflammation in the appendix becomes so severe that it cuts off the blood flow, leading to gangrene.
I love our listeners.
They are, I'm telling you, the greatest in the whole
best.
wide world, man. What?
Oh my gosh.
I love you all
Thank
dearly,
you.
man. All right. Even Josiane is on Facebook as well. AP, the glove doesn't sound like that.
I didn't do a good job. Okay.
But Josie,
Well,
the man
Josie,
having
later,
fun.
are you going to have to tell me exactly how it sounds? All right, Josie?
You know what that means?
Mhm.
You have to take the tear cola back.
or tell her. Or tell her. Yeah. When she can tell me what it sounds like. Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
So Shala came back and he says, Andre, you guys killing me, man. I did that once to check my prostate, and man, that was one of the most embarrassing things. But Shala, it's good that you were all right. You know what I mean?
I wonder if that fellas that like it.
We ain't going there right now.
Anyways, Lot Kuti.
I wanted to comment, but leave that alone. Leave that alone.
What happened was there was silence. Continue on, Totoons.
You sure you want me to continue? You one more time. You sure?
It's about me?
As long as
Brace
it's
yourself.
not bad. Okay.
Briscoe.
I'm seated for
Brace
that.
yourself.
Okay.
Briscoe.
Let's
Briscoe.
go.
Check.
Jan. It have to be Jan, right?
No.
No?
Check Keena panty. See if she pee on her.
No, I didn't actually. No, you're not serious. Boy. Why is you don't have to check it, no man? I thought it would have been me. Anyways, I love our listeners, let me tell
Wednesday.
you.
And we have to wait for this on right next week, Monday.
Yeah, imagine that.
Then Jan Blas wanna chime in. She says, Keena on the floor. Well, today is a day of laughter. Tony, go get Keena off the floor. My belly hurted me at home for all that laughing by me also. So she was cracking up as well. Elsa Hippolyte, Andre, you got everyone cracking up. Arthur St. just came right back and says, but that sounds like plastic needs a lot of work. Plastic needs a lot of work. That's And Peacemaker said, Arthur, so true. The plastic needs a lot of work.
That's how it's Andre. If that's your doctor and that's the sound, I would have make a run for it. Trust me.
I swear, that's what I heard.
I need to stay seated.
I swear that's what I heard.
Oh gosh,
Kill
people,
me.
we gotta move on. I still have a few. Nancy Graceland, once Nancy
Yes.
Graceland check-in is problems.
I know, right? I'm waiting.
There we
You
go.
ready?
Oh, yes.
Andre, start with Andre first.
Oh,
Andre,
boy. Oh, boy.
you don't trust the West, but you trust the Nigerian president. Same difference.
I'm waiting for mine.
Let's see what she.
That's a good one.
Before Nancy comes back, Clara Sammy says prophecy has to fulfill, Andre, before Jesus comes.
Oh.
This is to put our lives in order. because we don't know what's going to happen. Wars and rumors of wars. We are in this age right now. Luther Alce. All right. This one has a little bit, not so long, but good morning to Mr. Tony, Mr. Andre, and Empress Keena. God's richest blessings upon you three.
Empress.
Also wishing the students of SAT, or the students who sat the CPEA exam and excelled. Blessings upon them. Kudos to the teachers and families. Job well done. Blessings, my mother, girlfriend, and children. Weste Duet, this is just a bunch of European Zionists who thinks that they have authority over the world. Destroy, conquer, and occupy is their MO, modus operandi.
Yeah, that's right. It's true. It's true.
Weste Duet, clashes of money, egos, and so on. Peacemaker, it will be the American People Party, APP. Andrew, you part of that one, APP. Gibson Charles, Gibson, boy, I'm glad I got to you before we wrap up. Morning, brothers and Kiki. Tony, you don't have to be involved. Sometimes it is what you may have seen. You will line with they will come, or who you line with, they will come after you to take you out. So it all depends. Thanks for that, Grapey.
All right, Grapey. Thanks a lot for listening, partner.
Catherine McPhee says, have a blessed day, Andre, Tony, and Keena. Thank you,
Morning,
Catherine.
Catherine.
Say what's up as
All the
always
best to
Mark.
you.
Good morning, Catherine.
Mervyn Shalry, oh, Andre, I know what happens after you leave this earth. Call me. I will tell you if you want to know. That's from Mervyn Shalry.
All right, moving.
Peacemaker says, Keena, you're a dog lover?
Yes, I
guess
am.
she is. All right, Roland Clary, good morning to all. Nancy Graceland came back again and says, I will miss you guys tomorrow. You should come on after Meet the Opposition. Nisa Joseph Seeley, I think the movie the person was speaking about on the WhatsApp message is the movie of Trump and Elon.
There's a movie?
Not necessarily.
AI,
Maybe because of
maybe?
the action, she probably says it's a movie. Peacemaker says, oh God, Keena, I love my pap smear. Feels so good. Peacemaker. Pearl Food Baby Henry Boy, good morning to all in the chat room, and Rev-Up St. Lucia family. Have a blessed Wednesday. Thank you so much for that, Pearl Food Baby. Wested Duet, Kiki was so quiet and focused growing up. Don't know where that laugh came from. Jan Blast Warner. Well, my South Tent Calypso responsibilities have me very busy, but on my free time, I do go listen to the program for the day, or on free time. Arthur Charles, wishing Father Setut on his 36th anniversary as a priest, and also it's the wedding anniversary of Mr. and Mrs.
Happy
Alex
anniversary.
Morgan and Paulette Morgan on their wedding anniversary. That's from Arthur Charles.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Especially
Happy
Father
anniversary,
Setut.
Right.
Happy birthday, Father Setut.
Wested Wet, when your children allow the voices of their friends to be louder than you, the parents, is what I meant. Val Monroe, Val, welcome. I think this is the last one. All right, so just quickly. Val Monroe says, Alvin Toppin, popular DJ and Democratic Labour Party DLP candidate for St. Lucie, has died at the age of 52. He passed away on Wednesday morning, that is today, I suppose, at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital after suffering a stroke last week.
Wow.
Widely known in the entertainment world. Wow. Widely known, okay, entertainment
Alvin
world.
Toppin
Yes.
or Churro?
Just give me a second. He has some stuff here that says, widely known in the entertainment world as Soca Superman. Topping was a staple in the local music scene, performing as a featured DJ at major events, including the annual Crop Over Festival. In addition to his involvement in the entertainment industry and politics, Toppin was an insurance advisor. He leaves behind one daughter, leading on online Barbados Today News, all the different
so
places
much
that you can
for
find.
Guys gone early, man. Hey, 52.
52.
Wow,
Wow.
Yeah. Alrighty. So, we got to wrap things up. So, Keena, what do you have coming up today?
The important things, the Rev-Up Slu News with Andre Paul at 1 p.m. Hit of the day, one hit wonder. Bound Tequila is back in the United States after 15 years.
Oh, yes.
So I'll break that down. And there's a major shift coming for economic relations between Africa and the Caribbean and what leaders are proposing. So I'll touch on that as well. And so much more. Update on the Sean Diddy Combs' verdict, what they're saying. And Nareti, she couldn't be in yesterday because she was so busy preparing for the finals. But she is here right now. She's actually in studio waiting, downstairs.
Who's that?
Nareti. She's a singer. She's in the Groovy Monarch finals.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so she's actually waiting downstairs.
Okay, so what time is your interview with her?
After we're done.
Okay. I know. Okay, Tony, we haven't given an official welcome to Rambali's funeral parlor, you know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Welcome, Rambali's funeral parlor.
Welcome, Rambali's funeral parlor.
It's good to have you on board, and they'll be with us for a while.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Should I send kisses?
Oh, why not? Why not?
Kisses.
Give me.
Okay. So, Tony, thank you very much.
Yeah.
And Keena, thank you very much. And stay with Keena until 3 this afternoon. From 3 is going to be Zen the DJ as usual until 6. Then from 6 until 7, Tony Paul will be back here with Rev-Up the Homegrown. Right?
Yes.
So this has been Hard Drive for today. Thanks a lot for listening and for viewing. Brought to you the compliments of Rambali's Funeral Parlor and Joseph Shipping Agency. Joseph Shipping Agency, the only agency in St. Lucia with 24 hours efficient service. When everyone else is asleep, we're awake. Call 484-8888. That's 484-8888. Joseph Shipping Agency.
In moments of loss, finding comfort and support is essential. At Rambali's Funeral Parlor, we understand that every life is unique, and honoring that life is our mission. Our dedicated team is here to guide you through every